Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Q&A. One of you left a comment on my recent book haul and asked me to do another Q&A. So I decided to do that today. You ask, you shall receive. There's so many questions. So my first question is, what do you do for a living? I've been meaning to ask this for a long ass time. I actually work in aged care. I work in the catering department, so in the food sector of an aged care facility. I mainly am in a cafe. At the aged care facility that I work in, they have a cafe where, you know, staff members can buy their lunch and stuff like that. And also when visitors come in to see their family members, they can take them down to the cafe and hang out with them. So I'm mainly in there. So I make coffee for a living pretty much. Does your partner get irritated with you reading all the time? Sometimes he does, definitely, especially when he's trying to go to sleep. And if I have the day off, the following day after, I'll stay up all night and read. It's hard for him because he's like trying to fall asleep, but I usually wait until he does fall asleep. Sometimes he'll get annoyed, but I just gotta make sure that every now and then I give him a piece of me and a piece of my time, and we have time where we do sit down and watch movies and stuff like that together. What is it about life that scares you the most? Everything. I feel like the world that we live in is fucking crazy, and as every year goes by, more shit comes to light, and it makes you really question what the meaning of life is and why we're here. Growing older definitely gives me a weird type of feeling, not in a vain way as in, you know, my skin's gonna change and I'm gonna age. You know, just growing older and life moving so fast, you've got no control over time. How do you deal with negativity from people close to you? I do not listen. If someone's gonna be negative to me or have something negative to say about my choices, my actions, my life, what I'm doing, I just kind of nod my head and just go, okay, but I don't take anything in. I do everything in my life for me, and I don't care about anyone else's opinions. What are some things that ruin your enjoyment of reading a book? Definitely when the main characters are like weak, whiny, whingy, crying, that type of like heroine I cannot stand. And also when there's too much sex, which is bizarre because I obviously love romance for the sex aspect, but I feel like when there's too many sex scenes and it's like they're just fucking constantly, it's like, okay, it's not hot now, you know? I'd rather like a couple of sex scenes that are really intense and really descriptive than like the whole book is just them fucking the entire time. What star sign are you, and are you into astrology? Love you, by the way. Love you too. I love astrology. I used to be a lot more into it than what I am now, and yes, I definitely do believe in astrology. I cannot fathom someone who doesn't believe in it. I don't know why it's not considered like an actual science. I don't know why it's not like a religion. It is probably one of the most accurate things on this fucking planet. I say to people all the time who don't believe in astrology, if the moon can affect the water, as in the ocean, and the tide, how do you think the moon's going to affect us? If we're made of like 70% of water or something ridiculous, of course the planets and the moon and the stars are going to have an effect on us. My brother actually has studied Vedic, I think it's called, I think it's like an Indian astrology. He's studied that and is actually qualified in it and has a certificate and shit. And I've learned so much about astrology through him and him studying it. It's just fucking bizarre how on point shit is. Like, especially if you look at my birth chart in depth, guys, it like where all my placements are, it explains me on YouTube, my success on YouTube. Like everything, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's so fucking crazy. My brother is into like Vedic astrology, where I'm more of like a Western type of chick. I like my Western astrology. So if you're asking what my star sign is in Western astrology, I'm a Gemini. A lot of people think that I'm a Scorpio. Don't know where they get that from, I guess, because I just talk about sex all the time, but I'm a Gemini. Don't get it twisted, hun. She is a lot. But my rising sign is Aquarius and my moon is Pisces. So I'm a strange, emotional, moody bitch. How did you become confident, or have you got any tips? Confidence. I get this compliment all the time about my confidence on camera, and The reason why I am this confident on camera is because I've been doing it for so long. If you go back to my like very first video like 4 years ago, she was not confident. And obviously when I have a lot of engagement from you guys, it boosts my ego, it boosts my confidence, and I feel more comfortable in my skin and who I am. So it makes me act a certain way on camera. Not saying that this isn't who I am, because it is, and if you know me, there's many different layers to me. What you get is the preppy, confident, like fun Mary. This usually comes out when I'm drunk, especially when I'm like being funny or whatever. But a lot of the time, I'm actually quiet and shy. I don't like being the center of attention in social environments. I don't like being in social environments for too long. I wouldn't say I'm an introvert, but I'm definitely, I need to recharge. I struggle with a little bit of social anxiety. So like, I don't like answering phones. I don't like being in crowded places with a lot of people. I don't like, you know, paying for things at a cash register. There's a bunch of different things that I'm not good with. I am a lot more confident than what I used to be, and it's just taken a time and a lot of healing and a lot of growth for me to accept who I am as a person and get the whole mentality of not giving a fuck what other people think. It's taken a long time, and I haven't always been like that. Confidence and self-love and stuff is really difficult to give tips on, because I feel like it's so personal, depending on the person and their journey. And I feel like everyone needs to go through their own self-love, confidence journey. What works for me might not work for you, but fake it till you make it. You know, if you put on that face, even though you're dying inside, no one's gonna pick at it. And the more that you fake it till you make it, the more real you feel it. It's the same when I was younger. Like, I used to wear makeup in high school all the time. You wouldn't catch me without makeup. And now I only really wear it on camera, or if I'm going out and I'm in the mood to wear it. Like when I go to work and stuff like that, I don't wear a single drop of makeup. Back in the day, I would never think of doing that. But over the years of letting myself, you know, come back a little bit with the makeup, not wearing so much, I've gotten used to my own skin. I've accepted my own skin, and now I love my own skin. So it doesn't bother me when I leave the house without makeup anymore, where it used to once. Act confident and no one will question you. Sarah's Day, who is an Aussie vlogger, she says that all the time, and I totally believe it. What was your major in uni? I didn't go to university. I didn't major in anything. A lot of you might think that's like strange, considering a lot of my US followers, you know, you guys go to college and it's like a given that you have to go. It's so different here. I know like 2 people that have gone to uni. No one really goes unless you're becoming like a nurse or a doctor, like, or an engineer or something. No one really goes to university. It's not that common anymore for people to go to uni. And even with guys, like, I don't know any men that have gone to uni, really. I really don't. Majority of the men in my life left school before they even like finished year 12 and went and got an apprenticeship. And now they're like fully qualified in whatever trade that they're working in. And trades here in Australia can pay just as good as a nurse. Sometimes even better, depending on where you're working, what industry you're in. Like if you're working in the city, doing carpentry or whatever, and you're working for like a big construction company, depending on the work, you can earn up to like $90 an hour. It's, yeah, trades pay really well here. I finished year 12, I took a year off and did nothing. I lived off the government welfare payments and slept and partied real hard, and then I got just like a basic ass job. What made you start making content on YouTube? I was lonely. If we're gonna get really real here, I was lonely as fuck, and I just wanted to make friends online. How old were you when you moved out? You're amazing. Thank you, you're amazing too. I was 21. I think, yeah, it wasn't long after my 21st birthday. I got the job that I've got now. I could afford to move out, and my partner and me, we'd been together for a couple of years at this point, and he was living with his mates, like a couple of his friends, and he was just over the whole environment. So as soon as I could afford to go out on my own, within 3 weeks I applied for a house and I was out. Yeah, I was like, see you later. Thanks for having me for 21 years, I'm out. Do you see yourself working your job forever? Working with elderly can be tough sometimes. The industry is definitely difficult. No, I don't see myself working there for the rest of my life. It's not that I don't care, and it's not that I don't have like love for my job. It just doesn't spark a fire within me, and I don't want to live my life working a job that doesn't spark fire within me. The reason why I'm there is because it's convenient. It's around the corner from my house. I get good pay. You know, I get sick pay, holiday pay, all of that stuff. If I was to get pregnant, I'd get maternity leave. I like the people that I work with. I like the environment. My supervisors or managers, like my bosses, they're really good and they're really good to me. So it's just comfortable. It's like a second home. Like I don't know, I feel comfort there, and I do love the residents. But yeah, the industry is definitely difficult, and you have to be a certain type of person to work in the industry. You're gonna be a super hard worker no matter what department in aged care that you're working in, whether it's admin, lifestyle, or you know, you're a carer or a nurse. It's definitely hardcore, especially in the middle of a pandemic. Someone asked me, how am I so strong? I've just learned to have a fucking backbone, really. I think in this day and age, you can't live this life without having a backbone, hun. You really can't. I haven't always been strong, and I definitely have my moments where I feel weak and I shatter and I'm not in a good place, just like everyone else. I'm fucking human. I just constantly remind myself that, you know, someone out there in life has it worse than me, and that just keeps me going. And I just live by the motto, it is what it is. You know, what you're given on your platter of life, you cannot change. You've just got to deal with the cards you've been dealt with and accept it. The more that you like don't accept where you are in your life or the circumstances you've been given, the harder it is to live with them, and the harder it is to be stronger if you don't accept them. So the sooner that you accept it and you're like, yep, this is it, I just have to deal with it, then that armor comes on and you'll be all right. How do you have so much time to read these books? So I don't really have much of a social life. I don't really leave my house. And if I'm not at work, I'm at home reading or I'm filming. So yeah, I also read on my phone and I read ebooks. So if I'm at work, on my lunch breaks and stuff like that, I'll, instead of, you know, checking Instagram or whatever, I'll read. Yeah, I just make sure I dedicate time to read. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. I pretty much go to work, come home, have a shower, have dinner and read. You strike me as being quite confident. Has it always been that way? So I kind of touched base on the confidence before. No, it hasn't always been that way. My whole thing is, it takes time, obviously, but I'm 25 and I'm nearly 26 at this point. And it's just like, if you don't fucking like me, then fuck off. Honestly, I am proud of who I am. So confidence just comes with that. If you accept who you are and you're proud of who you are, you'll be confident to show that off. Were you popular in school? Yes and no. I was a part of like the cool group, but it's so funny. You leave school and it's just so, high school's so relevant in your life once you get into your 20s and shit. I look back and I'm like, wow, that was just so not relevant. I thought I was the bee's knees. I fucking did. I thought I was the shit bitch. Like, I used to stop down those hallways, those corridors, thinking that my shit didn't stink. Someone again asked me, what did I major in and did I use my degree? No degree, bitch. Don't need one. What is your go-to food snack? P.S. I love your content. Thanks for watching, hun. My favorite food or snack? I'm a bit of a foodie, but I'm a basic bitch foodie, okay? I'm like, you know how you see those memes or those TikToks about like white people food? Like if you're not like a white person and you go to a white person's house and you see their dinner and it's just like plain chicken. That's me. I am plain Jane with my food. Oh my God, such a plain Jane. But my favorite food, I love pizza. I love pasta. I love chicken parmas. I really like Italian food. Carbonara. Chicken with chicken and bacon. Bacon. I'm all about bacon. I don't eat a lot of meat. Not because, just because I don't really like red meat, to be honest. I eat a lot of chicken and bacon though. I could never be vegetarian or vegan because you couldn't take my bacon away from me. What was teenage Mary like? My teen years were some of the best years of my life. Some of the best years of my life, but some of the worst. And they really shaped me into being who I am today. One of my old friends' dads had the nickname for me, Mare the Nightmare. And yeah, I was like every father's worst nightmare. Honestly, I really fucking was. I pushed boundaries. I tested limits. I did things that I wasn't meant to do. I toyed with the wrong people. I dated older guys. I did drugs. I drank a lot. Mary was an insecure young girl that just wanted to be loved and just wanted attention. And sometimes she did things to get attention in the wrong ways. How do you balance your time between work, YouTube, and relationships? I don't. I'm honestly so fucking tired, guys. I'm so fucking tired. I go to sleep at like 2 o'clock and then wake up at 6. Like, I run off nothing. And I honestly just go with what I'm feeling. So, you know, I wasn't gonna film today. I was gonna spend the day reading, but I woke up and I was like, no, I'm in the mood to film this video, so I'm gonna film today. I just try and make sure that I dabble in everything and make sure I give enough time to everyone and everything in my life. It's very fucking hard. Like, working full time and then doing everything else that I'm doing. You know, I'm reading all the time so I can give you guys suggestions, even though like I love doing that. I'm making YouTube videos, editing them, posting on Instagram stories, like social media. Like, if you're making a living from it or earning cash from it, it ain't easy. Don't ever look at this shit and think it's easy, because it's fucking hard. And then I've got to, like, you know, hang out with my partner, you know, spend some quality time with him. Then that comes to like my family. I've got to make sure, you know, I've got 2 siblings that I want to see quite often, and I've got children, like I'm an auntie to many little gremlins. And you know, I want to spend time with them. And then I've got like my best friend who, like, I honestly would want to see every fucking day if I could. And then I've got my parents, and then I've got my partner's family. Like, I'm super close to his sister and his parents and all that. Like, it's a lot. It's a fucking lot to try and like dedicate time to everything in my life and everyone, but I just do the best I can and just hope that I don't crumble under stress one day. I'm very motivated in this stuff, like in YouTube and reading and stuff like that. I just really, I know in my stomach that something amazing is going to come out of this and it's going to change my life. If I keep working hard, I'm going to see these rewards faster. So I just try and focus and get shit done. Look, my house is a mess. I need to scrub my toilet. It's been a long time. Describe yourself in 3 words. Fierce. I'm a fierce bitch. I'm loyal as fuck. I'm loyal as fuck, especially when it comes to my family. And if I love you, like, I love you. And I will go to war over my family. I will annihilate anyone that hurts my siblings. Like, I go into their battles quite often. It's a bit of a problem. I try not to anymore, but I tend to fucking get my bullhorns going and just fucking charge at anyone that hurts them. I want to say I'm empathetic. I just don't like to show my heart on my sleeve that often, but I definitely have a lot of like empathy. I'm very emotional, and that comes out through having empathy for others. And yeah, so fierce, loyal, and empathetic. If you could move anywhere in the world, where would it be? I've only traveled out of Australia once, and that was last year. I went to Thailand, so I wouldn't even know where I'd want to live just because I haven't seen the world. So I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable in Australia. It's a pretty good place to live. Is there anything embarrassing you've experienced that when you still look back, you cringe? My entire life throughout my teenage years, every memory makes me want to fucking vomit. Would you want to try reading historical romance books? I've actually thought about it. There's a couple of booktubers that I watch that love historical romances. I just don't know if it's going to be my cup of tea. I'm very much a modern girl, okay? Tips for body positivity. You are you. No one else on this earth is like you. There's no point of trying to change yourself to look like someone else. Just because you open up Instagram and there's, you know, fucking size 6 Instagram models everywhere doesn't mean that everyone is attracted to that. And at the end of the day, like, what people are attracted to shouldn't be the reason why you're happy with yourself. I know it's hard. I still have bad days where I'm like, oh, I feel fat. Or like, you know, I'm not confident with my body sometimes. But you know, it is what it is. I'm me. I'm no one else. I'm not meant to be anyone else. This is me, and I'm not changing for anyone, because I wouldn't be me if I tried to be someone else. Thoughts on lockdown. Obviously, if you don't live in Victoria, Australia, you wouldn't know, but we are on a strict lockdown. Pretty much we've been on a strict lockdown the entire year. They're lifting the restrictions slowly but surely. Hopefully by the end of the year we'll be in a new COVID normal. My thoughts on it, I think it's absolute fucking bullshit. I'm sorry about it. It is bullshit. The whole COVID thing and this whole treatment of it, I just think is fucking bullshit. I understand there's not a vaccine. I understand that, you know, it is critical for the elderly and those that have other health concerns, but it is literally just a strain of the flu. More people died of influenza A in 2019 than who have died in this country in 2020 from COVID. I think the numbers of new cases daily that the government wants is not reality. It's just, you're never going to be able to achieve that. COVID isn't going to disappear. It is now a part of our lives. So we need to get used to living with this and go back to some sort of normality. Cooping everyone up like we're in a fucking prison is just going to make us go crazy. More people have killed themselves from suicide throughout the pandemic here in Australia than who have actually died of COVID. So my whole thing is, yes, I understand that we're meant to be protecting those that are, you know, in danger of this virus. Keep the aged care facilities in a strict lockdown and, you know, keep them going with the protocol that they're running off right now, but let us live a little bit. Like, it's getting a little bit ridiculous. People's mental health is suffering. There are people with mental health issues and other health issues and concerns that are suffering because they're getting put on the back burner. And my whole thing is, yes, we're doing this to protect our elderly, and I'm all about that, okay? But we're going to be dealing with the mental and emotional effects of this pandemic and financially for the next 20 years. Our kids are going to suffer mentally because of this, and the people that we're trying to save are not going to be here to see that. Wouldn't you rather spend the last waking moments with your loved one who is elderly in an aged care facility with them, not behind a screen with a mask on? How is that healthy for them? Of course they'd want their last moments with their loved ones and not have any restrictions behind it. There is a lot of things about this whole thing that I'm just not okay with, and at this point I'm just like, fucking find me. Government, where's the cops? Honestly, give me a fucking fine for living my life, because I'm not gonna fucking pay it. You can't force me to pay it. It's not a part of the law. So it'll just go to court and it'll just get overruled. Let us the fuck out. It's ridiculous. The whole country is functioning normal. So why are we in lockdown? There is a lot of conspiracy theories behind this. There's a lot of rumors about why they locked Victoria down the way it is locked down. There's specific reasons, but I'm not gonna start blurting that shit out on the internet because I don't want the men in black coming for me. How long have you and your partner lived together? I'm 25, so 4 years. What is the age range you would date? Youngest to oldest? I probably wouldn't date anyone younger than me unless there was like mad chemistry, you know what I mean? I've always dated someone that's older than me. But in saying that, I've been on TikTok recently and some of these boys on there, I'm like, whoa, whoa. And then I go to their fucking pages and they're like 16 and I'm like, you're a minor. I'm a grown-ass woman and you're a minor. Like, what the fuck? They're making them different these days, let me just tell you. And honestly, I'd probably date anyone up to like the age of 40, depending on the person though. Do you have a place that you would like to visit? I had this conversation on Instagram the other day. I want to go everywhere. I want to go to Canada, New Zealand, the US. I want to go to like the UK. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to like the Greek islands. So fucking bad. Like Mykonos and stuff like that. I want to go so many places. Unfortunately with COVID, I think there's going to be a travel ban here in Australia until 2022. Someone asked me, do you still take drugs recreationally? Yeah, I don't take drugs like often, but I definitely have dabbled in it throughout the years, and especially when I was younger, I used to take a lot. I don't see an issue with taking drugs, honestly. I'm not uncomfortable with drugs. Seeing someone take a pill or rack up a line is like, honestly, as normal as someone cracking a beer in front of me. Like, It's just always been a part of my life. And yeah, every now and then I'll do it if I'm in the right mood, right environment and feel like it. I think it's very important for people to experiment with drugs and also know a lot of knowledge about them, just so in the future if you have any problems with like getting roofied or anything like that, you know how to handle it and understand what you're feeling. If you want to take a pinger or fucking rack up a couple of lines of coke, you do you, hun. I'm here for a good time, not necessarily a long time. If you were to make merch, what would it be? I actually am making merch. Coming soon. How are you? That is a very beautiful question. I am fabulous right now. I'm really happy, and I haven't been this happy in a long fucking time. What motivated you to start writing? Do you have any help from any popular authors? I don't necessarily have help, but I definitely have some authors that are like team me and are, you know, guiding me in the right direction. What's inspired me to start writing? A couple of months ago, I literally came up with this idea in my head and I thought, wow, I need to try and bring this to life. I've always been a dreamer. I'm the type of girl that, like, if I'm listening to music, scenarios play in my head. You know, if I'm reading a book scene and like I put the book down, I'll continue to play that book out from my own perspective in my head. And I've always had a really good imagination with this stuff. So I'm hoping to bring a lot of this to life, and if it doesn't work out and it's not good, then I'll move on to the next thing. Someone asked, do you want to have babies? If so, how many and when do you want them? Yes, I want babies. I want 2 of them, and honestly, I could get pregnant tomorrow if I wanted to. I'm solely leaving it up to the universe. Whenever it'll happen, it'll happen. I'm 25, I'm in a good position in my life. Hopefully, by the time I'm 30, I'll have 2 little schnook-lumps. If you could change anything in the world, what would it be? The one thing that I would love to change would be the religious and racial divide between us all as humans. I think it's ridiculous. We are all the same. We all came from the same place at the end of the day. We all bleed when we're cut. We all have thoughts, feelings and emotions. And I don't love anyone any less because of their religion, race, skin tone, any of that bullshit, and I really wish that didn't exist. I would also want to fucking get rid of all the corrupt governments. I think it's bullshit that we have laws and regulations that we have to follow, but the government never follows them. They're corrupt as fuck, and then we suffer. I would love to fucking get rid of human trafficking. Goals. Also, I'd love to rid the world of pedophiles and child pornography. Honestly, if I ever come across someone that is involved in any of that shit, I will literally stick a pin down the tip of their fucking penis, skin their ball sacks, and fucking feed them their balls. Like, dead set. Gross cunt. This type of shit gets me really riled up. Not about it, hun. You are fucking foul. Okay, I'm gonna leave now because I'm running out of battery. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I'm gonna do another one soon, so if I didn't answer your question, don't worry. We'll do another Q&A soon. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe before leaving. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.